Rodman has received exhibits online. I'm not going to argue with you. You're being extremely disrespectful yourself. And I have rights as a citizen and in a courtroom.
Today's case takes us to Cowlitz County, Washington for a highly contentious civil matter. We're in the courtroom of Judge Pro Tem Sanders for a lawsuit brought by one of the most litigious plaintiffs we've seen so far, 30-year-old Irisa Sanchez. At the time of this hearing, she's filed no less than 30 small claims cases across Washington and Oregon in just the last 5 years, with the vast majority ending in dismissals. The difference this time is the cameras are rolling, and this pre-trial hearing quickly goes off the rails.
We have the plaintiff, Irisa Sanchez, present. We do not have the defendant, Rodman Realty, or Don Rodman present. So I'm going to look over the docket.
How long do they have? Because if someone's not present, then we should be able to move forward after a certain time. And I'm in nursing school.
Ma'am, I will control how this one goes. And so I will tell you the procedure today. I understand that you sound sort of frustrated, but
because I've been waiting for approximately 25 minutes. Court was at 11:30. So if we're required to be here at a certain time, it should be starting at a certain time.
Do you think, oh, no, that's not how that works. Do you think you're the only individual that has a case on today?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay, well then you wait until you're
for 11:30. So don't be disrespectful.
Okay, you can go back into the waiting room and then I'll call you back after I handle the next matter. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Yes. All right, so before we call her back in, I'm going to go ahead and actually, did I do that correct? Yeah, I just want to make sure that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and just pull up Miss Irisia's. I just want a second to look after what the docket is because I'm a little confused. There's been a few steps.
As Judge Sanders tries to make sense of the docket up to this point, the court clerk offers a key insight.
So Plaintiff Sanchez submitted correspondence. Whatever that correspondence was, we decided to send it over.
Well, it was her asking to reset her trial date because it didn't work for her schedule. So we were doing her the benefit to reschedule the trial.
They figure out a plan and call Ms. Sanchez back in.
All right, Ms. Sanchez, let's try this again. So it looks like in this situation, you asked for us to cancel the trial date because there was some kind of a conflict with your schedule.
Yep.
But it looks like the defendants are not here, so I'm not quite sure why they're not here. We can go ahead and set a new trial date, and then we can send them notice of the new trial date. So
okay, sounds great. Thank you.
The new trial date that we have is October 8th at 3 p.m. Does that work for you?
I have to check the date. Yeah, that should work just fine.
Okay, so October 8th at 3 p.m. is the new trial date. That means that you need to drop off exhibits by September 26th at the latest. And you're asking for an in-person trial, correct?
It doesn't have to be in person now.
Okay, so not anymore. I think that you requested that originally. So, okay. So then we will remove the in-person request. We're going to go ahead and set it for 3 p.m. then. So just so you know, it's not going to be Zoom courtroom 8. It's going to be Zoom courtroom 6. So please write that down so you're aware of the different courtroom. And then, so trial exhibits dropped off on September 26th. Pickup for exhibits will be on September 29th. And please bring 2 copies of every exhibit that you wish to use at trial, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
After Ms. Sanchez confirms that the trial does not need to be in person, the parties meet on the new trial date, where the judge reveals that Ms. Sanchez has, again, asked to reschedule.
Sanchez didn't want to do it today, so it needs to be pushed out to a different date so she can be in person. Let's go ahead and look at the dates. So the next availability is November 19th at 3 p.m. Does that work for all parties?
We'll
With
make
what?
it work here.
With what, Judge?
What do you mean with what?
With what judge would be there? Is it you?
I am the judge. Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to put in a request for a different judge because I would like a fair trial and I don't think you're being very fair with me.
That's wonderful. Please file the paperwork. That
I
would be
definitely
great.
will.
Sounds great. All right. So the hearing, 3 p.m., courtroom 6. Does that work for all parties?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's get that in the system. Okay, so now that it has moved to November 19th, 3 p.m., courtroom 6, you have the opportunity to appear in person or virtually, okay? So if you do not want to be there in person, you do not have to. It's the same login information. It would just be in courtroom 6 and not 8, okay? So
Okay.
that would be at 3 p.m. And let me look up the dates and give you the new drop-off date. So Rodman Realty, we do have all your exhibits that have been submitted. So you do not need to resubmit your exhibits. If you want to additionally add anything in, you may, but these will be reserved for the trial on the 19th, November 19th, okay?
Okay.
If any party wants to additionally submit any exhibits, you will have until the 7th, November 7th, which is a Friday. There needs to be 2 copies of every exhibit submitted, so that way the court can retain a copy, and that way the other party can have another copy of the exhibit as well and just know what is being presented against them. So let me go ahead and open this. All right. So I believe Rodman Realty, you guys already presented 2 copies of everything, right? So you don't need
Yes.
to double up. Okay. Nothing was received from the plaintiff at this time.
Rodman
you
has
have
received.
You have
Rodman
until
has-
November 7th to submit any evidence that you would like to submit. It needs to be 2 copies of everything. So that way Rodman Realty can come and pick up anything they may need.
Rodman has received exhibits online. I'm not going to argue with you. You're being extremely disrespectful yourself. And I have rights as a citizen and in a courtroom.
I'm really sorry. I removed her into the waiting room for her to cool down for a second.
Okay.
I'll bring her back in a few minutes.
Okay. But you see what we've been dealing with.
I'm not going to make a comment on that, but you don't get to talk to people like that, especially to a judicial officer. So I'm going to give her a second to calm down.
Okay.
So yes, I am witnessing a lot. So, but I'm not going to make a comment on it, but yes,
Of course. Right.
it is disrespectful. So I apologize. We're just going to wait a few minutes and then I'll bring her back in. And if it keeps happening, she'll just receive notice in the mail with the new court dates, and I'm not going to tolerate this. So, Madam Clerk, we're just going to stay on the record. We're just going to.
It's November 7th.
Yes, November 7th was the additional evidence day, and then November 19th at 3 p.m. courtroom 6. Yes. Okay, so. Okay, so let me look up this court rule for affidavitting a judge, because she may be very happy with what she's about to find out. All right, Madam Clerk. So, Madam Clerk, we are going to bring her back in. If at any point she starts being rude, can you just mute her and she can just listen? Yes. Okay. All right, so we are continuing on with this setting of dates. So November 7th will be the date that all parties can turn in 2 copies of every exhibit. And then November 10th is when all parties can come and pick up any exhibits that may have been dropped off for them. As I said, Rodman Realty, we already have your exhibits. So if there's anything in addition that you want to drop off, it would be the 7th. You do not need to provide copies of the previous exhibits again. That is ready for pickup for Miss Sanchez if she does want it. So just clarifying that. Okay. All right. So November 7th. Okay. Well, there we go. So, I mean, I guess she could have signed off. There was nothing additional that needed to be said. So 7th, 10th is pickup, 19th is trial. I think she's going to be very unhappy when she finds out that I will be the judge there, but there is a chance that she can try to affidavit me. I think she has passed the deadline. So I'll probably see you on the 19th.
Okay. We look forward to it.
Yes. Very, very excited for it. See you on the 19th.
Okay. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Bye
Thank
to all parties.
you.
2 weeks later, when Ms. Sanchez requests a new judge by mail, the docket notes that Judge Sanders had already voluntarily recused herself 5 days prior. In the 3 months that passed before the trial date, Ms. Sanchez files 3 new lawsuits against different, unrelated parties. And on the new date, Ms. Sanchez, again, immediately runs into problems with the new judge.
I guess for Rodman Realty, did you receive exhibits from Miss Sanchez?
We received some emails from her.
Link. Okay. Is there additional links at all on the? Okay. Yeah, I don't think she's not saying that she did file anything, but you did serve, I guess you emailed copies of exhibits too.
Yes, they received numerous emails of like exhibit 1 through 10, like all of that. And there's quite a bit of exhibits that they were given.
Okay. Well, I don't have those in front of me. As they weren't filed with the court, like you were instructed.
Yeah, because I thought it was an in-person trial as well. I requested that. Are you at the courthouse currently?
No, we are at an administrative building. So all of these small claims trials are conducted via Zoom, and they're live streamed to maintain the open courtroom requirements. I understand that you haven't been able to get down in person, but we've had trials scheduled a few times, including in August of 2025, where you were informed that exhibits needed to be turned in by both parties on that date. Then it got continued.
I understand. I was also under the impression, though, that it was an in-person trial, which is what I prepared for. I'm at the courthouse in Kelso because I thought it was in person.
It is not in person.
Parties are required to submit evidence ahead of time so everyone, including the court, can be fully prepared at trial. After a lengthy back and forth, Judge Pro Tem Knowles decides to proceed with trial now rather than postpone the case yet again. She reluctantly allows Ms. Sanchez to screen share her documents, and the court begins working through the claim in full.
So it's the total you are seeking is $4,175.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a bit difficult to read, but it looks like you've kind of broken things down. But the monetary things that you have discussed were moving expenses, certificate service fee, filing fee. And then I'm not sure, I guess, where the difference comes in from the original claim. I'm not seeing how that is distinguished.
The difference would be my full security deposit refunded because they failed to refund me my full security deposit, plus just like rent from when I lived there because they violated Washington laws regarding maintenance request. That it states in the law, I believe, that you're equal to, it's like 3 times the monthly rent if they violate these laws, and they're fined.
Not seeking that. You're seeking full security deposit of $900, moving expenses of $3,200, certificate service fee of $40, and filing fee of $35. Is that correct?
Plus the other stuff I mentioned, I just didn't add it, but yes.
Well, there's no amount associated with that. So I guess what are you seeking? What we have is not included. I only see the $4,175, and that is, I believe, if I'm doing the math correctly, that should just be those 4 expenses.
Okay.
Is that, I'm just going off of what
Well,
you're claiming.
I don't want to like get into an argument. It's like I said, if
No
they're
one's getting into an argument.
if they're found in violation of like Washington laws, it states that you're equal to it's 3 times the monthly rent. So that's what's included.
Included in your small claims?
Yes.
Okay, so the moving expenses so it was $3,200 for the moving expenses?
Yes.
And does that
Regarding.
include,
Well, yeah, that includes like a down payment on my new place, my moving, like the U-Haul, everything that I had to move, the expenses of that, because I ended my lease with them because of the violations of the law. And so I had to pay to get into a new place and not break my lease, but after ending the lease.
so right now, what I have in front of me and what I really want us to focus on today is those 4 expenses that you have listed out.
Okay.
That is what I will be considering. So for the total of $4,175. So I would like to keep us on track with what I realize that there's a lot of stuff that may have gone on between the parties throughout the lease agreement.
Okay.
That's neither here nor there. But right now, what's in front of me is I have these 4 costs that you are seeking. So let's just try to keep with, I'm not going to be making any rulings on whether they violated landlord tenant law, anything like that. Okay. It's just focusing on the small claims portion. Does that make sense?
But that's part of it.
Okay.
Was them violating by not, providing proper maintenance that was requested. Also retaliation is in the claim.
Okay. So we can get into that obviously a little bit if that's the basis for you moving and if that's the basis for your small claims. I just don't want, like, we're not going to be, this is not a trial about whether they, a lot of other like violations of like landlord tenant law on anything like that. I'm and like triple the amount of rent. What I have in front of me is at $4,175. So that's all I'm just trying to clarify. Let's stick to that. And if there
Okay.
is context from what has gone on with you guys in the past, that's totally fine. I just, like I said, I wanted us to keep on track. So,
okay, I understand.
All right, let's break this down. So, let's start with your original claim that was for, and I see that there's some like retaliation mentioned and stuff like that. So I do have that, but so let's start with the moving expenses. So you're seeking $3,200 in moving expenses. Do you have any exhibits to present on that specific costs and then any other evidence that you wish to present on that specific?
I have like what it costs to move into my new place and all that, like my rental agreement and the costs associated with that.
So I guess you said that it was a down payment on the new place and then the U-Haul. Do you have the U-Haul receipt? Or do you have the amount in total from that? I'm just wondering how you got to that number, 3,200.
Yes, from the cost of my having to move into my new place. That's a down payment, first month's rent, plus the U-Haul. It's, I mean, if
So what
I,
was the down payment on your rent?
let me pull it up for you.
Thank you. And while you're doing that, just for the record's sake, we are having Miss Sanchez screen share her documents that were provided to defense, but not to the court. We're just trying to prevent another continuance in this case. So,
Okay, so here is the rental agreement of my new place, which shows my down payment and like monthly rent. So there's the total cost.
so it looks like deposits was 1,200, or was that?
Yeah. Yep.
1,200 deposit. Okay.
The total was $2,807.35.
Okay. And that is from your lease agreement. All right. And your U-Haul expenses.
I don't have that. I'd have to go through my bank statement and I don't have that. So I'm not going to be too worried about that portion. But it was approximately to rent the U-Haul and move it down to where I lived, like $200 approximately. I do remember that.
Okay. So that's what puts us to around 3,000 on that particular line item in the small claims request. Okay. Is there anything about that moving expenses that you would like to tell me as to why I should award you this particular expense?
Yeah, I just, as a tenant, I had requested very reasonable things. The unit was in very poor condition when I received it. I can also prove that by my move-in checklist that was provided to Rodman. It was dirty. It was very, like outlets were not up to standard and code. There was like hazards regarding that, and I requested these things to be fixed. There was also, I had an animal, and there was no screens, and I requested for those to be fixed, and they were never fixed. And, I ultimately, in combination with, not getting maintenance repairs done and the retaliation that I received from Rodman, I broke my lease and ended it, and had to move pretty abruptly. It was within like a 2-week period, because I was assaulted on the property by another tenant. And they also like tried to come into my house, and I had to call police and file a police report regarding that. And Rodman just did nothing about it. I just continued to face retaliation. They refused to do certain maintenance requests. And ultimately, had they not done those things and those incidents hadn't occurred, I would have stayed living there because it was affordable and within my budget. And then I had to, within 2 weeks, scarf out this money. And it's just, it's not right. It's not legal, and it's not fair to me as a tenant either.
Okay. And so you're saying, and I guess so you said retaliation.
Yes. When I moved into the unit, again, it was very dirty. I have statements too that Rodman received from somebody who was there at time of move-in. I also contacted them directly because it was filthy in the unit, and I was just like, hey, like I put a $900 security deposit down. I also asked you guys multiple times prior to move-in if it would be cleaned, and you guys assured me it would, and it wasn't. And then after that, I just received mass forms of retaliation. I had went down to the office at one point because I wanted to submit a formal complaint regarding how the unit was in not good condition when I received it. And they called the police on me for just exercising my rights and voicing my concerns. And they had me trespassed, which made it harder for me to like pay rent. And if I wanted to do anything or have any complaint with them, I couldn't deal with them directly. And they just made it a lot harder than it needed to be without real like cause. I didn't go in there and threaten anybody or, I voiced my rights as a tenant and stated that what they did was not okay. And I was trespassed for really no reason other than voicing my concerns. And then they, further retaliation, they refused to make certain, fulfill maintenance requests that I did. And that's, a violation of our lease agreement as well. They're required to, if I submit a maintenance request, they're required to fulfill that.
Do you have any documentation of maintenance requests that you have
Yes.
provided to defense and that you can
Yes.
share with the court?
Yes, I do. Where did that go? Sorry, there's a lot of evidence that was sent, so I have to go through.
And unfortunately, it was required to be filed with the court ahead of time by the deadline.
Yeah.
Not brought to trial.
Here's one. It's where I requested. So when I moved in, you could visibly tell that the front door had been like broken into, and I lived alone at the time, so it made me feel really unsafe. And so I had requested that the front door needs to be replaced as there was like a huge gap and there was damage to it. That was requested on May 2nd, 2025. They never fulfilled that. There's also another one, like I stated, I had an animal and there was no screens. They were all missing. I requested that same day, May 2nd, 2025 at 6:47 p.m. I also have, let me look at my move-in checklist because that also shows.
I do have the move-in checklist because that was an exhibit filed by defense in anticipation for a trial today.
Okay.
So I am showing I have the move-in and move-out inspection checklist.
So on that, it also states that the outlets need to be replaced because, and I have that as well, they would not like fully stay in. It was an electrocution hazard as well, and they never repaired any of those as well. There was damage to them. They were like broken in some some places, and it was an electrocution hazard, and they never fixed those. They also, regarding retaliation and the outlets, claim, and I have text messages, I can also provide that. They claim that an electrician company came out and that I failed to answer the door, so they tried to charge me. But I have text messages from the electrician company because they reached out to me directly, and I had stated that I was leaving town at the time they were trying to come, and I stated that I needed to be present because I put that in my move-in checklist, that I needed to be present for all maintenance repairs. And they stated, okay, well, we're a pretty busy company, we'll be in touch again. And then they never followed up with me regarding that.
Do you have any documentation to that effect?
Yes, I have the text from the Three Rivers Electrical. I'll provide them right now. Jen was her name. Okay. So here's the text chain. They texted me. Can you see that okay?
I'm kind of in the way, but yeah.
Okay, so they texted me May 7th at 1:23 p.m. stating, "This is Jen from 3R Electrical. We would like to come to your unit tomorrow between 8:30 and 9 to take care of the electrical. Will you be available?" I stated, "No, I am available Friday before 1 p.m. and after 3. They said, "We have other jobs scheduled, but if we can do it, we will call or text you 1 hour prior to setup." I said, "Okay, well, it needs to be a day I'm available to be present. I'm available after next week too, just not this week. I will be out of town. I'm available the week of the 19th, Monday, Thursday, and Friday." They stated, "Okay, I will see what I can do. We are a contractor, so our schedule is pretty full. When we do come, please make sure any outlets that you need access or that you need checked or accessible with no furniture or anything." And I said, "Okay, I will have to be present for maintenance." And they just said, "Okay." And then they never followed up on that. So that was as far as it went.
Okay.
And then Rodman as well never followed up on that and tried to have them come out again or anything else.
Okay. And then I know you're the additional $900 full security deposit. Are all of these kind of the same reasons for that request as well?
No, ma'am. So I believe Rodman probably provided that to you. Let me look through my documentation. But they charged me just basically beyond normal wear and tear, which is in the state of Washington illegal. They cannot charge you beyond normal wear and tear. And they essentially are trying to say that I left the unit dirty, but I have pictures of how I left the unit and documentation. I mean, I've got a statement as well from the individual who was there present at move-in. There's a witness here today with me who can testify that on move-out, day of move-out, I left it in clean condition. And they charged me unnecessary charges for cleaning fees, and just standard cleaning that they would have had to do anyways, like vacuuming and mopping, nothing that was beyond normal wear and tear. Yes, which I did send email stating I agreed that the blinds, they were damaged from my animal, so I took accountability, and that makes sense that that was taken out of my security deposit. But the move out $5,250, and then they also sent me another invoice for, it says good and clean janitorial for 50. Oh, it's the same one. Yeah,
vacuum and receipt. Yeah.
Yeah, vacuum and mop to remove cat hair throughout unit 1.45 hours. Okay. This is a standard cleaning they would have had to do anyways.
Well, with the additional of the cat thing, that's what the receipt says. It's for the cat hair cleanup, an additional beyond normal wear and tear. I'm looking. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm showing that. So I'm showing a $5,250 for move out cleaning, the $5,945 for damaged blinds, which you agreed with, basically. I'm showing that they refunded you $723.05.
Yep.
I believe. Yeah, move out refund payable check number 330399. And then so this bill, it looks like you owed, from what this document stated, you owed $129.45. Is that your understanding?
Yes, but I believe I did the math too, and that didn't equal the security because my security deposit was 900. So that doesn't equal the amount that they gave me back.
900 or 723?
So if I was to do the math on the 900 minus the blinds, and if you look at the pictures, did they provide you the pictures as well on their end?
Yes, but if you're not contesting it, then I'm not gonna, we have a lot to get through, so.
Well, I am contesting it because I have images of how I left the unit and it was clean.
But you just said about the blinds that you even emailed them.
Yes, the blinds,
That's
yes,
what
I
I
did.
meant. That you
Oh.
said you're not contesting the blinds, right?
No, I am no, the blinds, no, but the condition of the unit at move out, yes, I'm contesting. The blinds,
Because you were asking me about pictures of blinds, so I just wanted to, because I do see photos of damaged blinds.
yes, and the blinds, yes, I take accountability for that because of my animal, but that would have been 59.45. I wouldn't have received a 729 check back from that if my deposit was $900. It'd be 900 minus the 59.45, which would what are you doing? The 59. It would be, can I see? Let's see. It'd be 900 minus 59.45. My security deposit given back to me would have been 840.55.
That's, well, they also charge the move out cleaning fee, which I'm assuming would have been.
Which that part I'm contesting because I have proof.
I understand you're contesting it, but that's what I'm saying was included in that. I'm saying it that was reduced from what I'm reading. That was reduced from the $900 security deposit.
Okay. I guess I'm having a hard time understanding what you're saying about that part because I agree with the blinds, but that would have left me at 840.55, and then I have proof of how I left the unit, which was in very clean condition when I left. So I don't agree that I charged.
Photos? Do you have photos of when you moved out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you share those? And were these provided to defense?
Yes, they were.
I'm here till 5 o'clock.
Okay, so here's the first photo. This is the living room. I mean, it's clean condition. I don't see anything beyond normal wear and tear. There's the blinds that I referred to that I take accountability for, but this was my bedroom. It's, again, clean. There's nothing out of the ordinary there. This is, again, another shot of the living room. Nothing beyond normal wear and tear. Another shot, an angle of the bedroom. It's cleaned, nothing beyond normal wear and tear. The floors were swept and mopped. This is the countertops. This is the issue is these countertops were, I mean, this is clean, but there is damage to the countertops and dirtiness that I put in my move in condition. So, I mean, I wiped these counters down, but they're old and I mean, there's damage to them before I moved in. So here's the stove area. It's cleaned. The dining table area. Again, another photo of the countertops and the cabinets. This is another portion of the bedroom that there's like a closet area. It's cleaned. Nothing beyond normal wear and tear.
Do you have any like close-ups of anything?
Yes, I
like
do.
Floorboards, fridge, stove.
Yes, I have
to.
Yeah, I do.
Cat hair.
Yes.
Dirtiness around windowsills. Looks like from a lot of oven pictures.
Am I able to? Because I do have to go into my photo album. And I don't want to like share all that with you. So can I stop sharing?
Yep. Stop screen sharing.
Sorry, this is all new to me, sharing a screen. Okay, can you see now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so here is close-up photos. So like this is just additional condition, like outlets wouldn't stay, just to show you like that's how it looked when I plugged something in. Here is like
and these photos are from July 25th of 2025.
Yeah, I moved out, I believe July, it was like 25th or 27th. But like here's drawers. Here is, that's kitchen cabinets. Is like countertop. Here is the refrigerator, the inside. Kitchen cabinets again. Here's under the stove or under the sink. Let's see. There is cabinets again. So this is like, again, you know, the unit was old and in very like not good condition. This is like, that's paint that's chipped.
All right. I get
Here's
the idea as well.
Okay. There's the stove. Here's close-ups of the rest as well that I.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
This is the stove top.
So, I'm looking at this statement and trying to go through it to get to that 129 figure, right? And so it looks like they charged you move out cleaning, the replacement for the damaged blinds, and then they refunded. And so then there's a $900 deposit. They also waived the fee for a no-show. I'm not sure what that is, but
That's regarding the electrical who never showed. They texted me but never showed.
Okay, so it looks like they waived that fee, so you were refunded that fee. And then, so I think that was part of the check that was made, and then you had a late fee of $75 and then your rent payment. So it does look like the balance equals out to you owing $129.45.
Okay.
That's accurate. Is that, I'm just reading what's in this document.
Would that equal the math though? The from $900, 100.
Yeah, if you look at the balance portion, it's because it's taking into consideration, it's charging you certain things and not and like refunding you for certain things. So it's a plus and minus, right? So like they are charging you certain things, but then you're also paying them like rent and your late fee, which was $75, which I don't believe was paid. So the only payment that you have made in this whole section would be the $900 rent for July. So that's how it gets to that number.
Okay.
So it's like the plus and minuses of the expenses and the payments made.
Okay. How does that work though with them, you know, I've rented for a very long time, and you get a unit and you give it back how it was given. I was not given a clean unit. I have proof of that as well. I mean, like I said, I have a witness statement.
You have a witness statement, or you have a witness? Because I know you mentioned you have a witness there with you.
I have a witness here with me regarding move out and how the condition was upon move out. But I also have a statement from someone who was there, and this was provided to Rodman at time of move-in.
This is something that also wasn't filed by the courts? Or filed?
Yeah, none of the evidence was filed with the courts. It was given.
That statement, is it sworn under penalty of perjury?
What do you mean by that?
So is there a statement, is it signed at all by the person making that statement?
Well, it's written in an email directly from the individual.
Right, but it has to be for me to even remotely consider it without, because I can't consider it as evidence if I don't have the proper foundation.
Okay.
That witness, they would, we would have a chance to question this person. I cannot take it if it's not a statement under penalty of perjury, a sworn statement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will not be considering that as a piece of it.
Okay.
Just because it is not a sworn affidavit and they're not present for me to talk and ask questions. I mean, anybody can send anybody an email from anywhere.
Are they able to be present if we contact them via phone?
Theoretically, if you can get them on right now, then potentially, but we are trucking along, so we're not going to be any length of time.
Okay, I would like the
How about this? Why don't you have your witness talk to me that is there, and then you can try to get this other person if they can. And do you have any other witnesses beyond this individual right here and potentially the one who sent the email?
Just my move-in checklist that shows the
witnesses,
unit was
just witnesses.
No,
just asking for time's sake. Okay, sir, can you state your full name and spell your last name for the record?
Yeah, Dylan Bradford, BRADFORD.
All right, can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth today?
I do.
Thank you. All right. So, how do you know Miss Sanchez?
She's my girlfriend.
Okay. And what did you want to, I guess, inform the court in regard to Miss Sanchez's request for the cost?
I mean, I was with her when she moved in, and I know her witness that she said that she had the email stating how the
and sir, I'm not going to consider that right now unless that person is here. So if
No,
you're telling me that this,
I'm just saying that I was in her life at that time, and
Okay.
she told me the same thing when she moved in and how dirty it was, and they tried to show up
Okay.
like after the fact while she was moving in with a Clorox, with some Clorox, like try to clean it up before, but she was already moving in, and she said that she wanted it to be clean when she moved in, which they didn't do, and then they tried to show up after the fact while she was already moving in. So I know about that instance, and then, you know, just as for the retaliation and all that stuff, I was obviously involved in hearing about all that as it's going down. And
were you present for anything, or are you just hearing about it? And Ms. Sanchez, if he is testifying right now, I do not need you in the background telling him what to say.
No,
he doesn't need to tell me what to say. I just
I just hear talking, so
okay.
I'm here to hear what you have to say,
just
Mr.
tell me
Bradford.
what to say. This is my testimony. Basically, I'm just trying to think. This is my first time I've ever been a witness in something, so sorry.
It's quite all right. I just heard talking in the background, so I wanted to make it very clear that I'm only hearing from you right now.
Okay. So for the instance of them calling the police for getting trespassed, she had to interact with the police like away from there. She already left, so they trespassed her and made her interact with the police for really no reason. I mean, you know, voicing your concerns is not against the law. And if you don't like those concerns, that's a personal problem. Using the law for retaliation seems pretty petty to me. So I was knowing that I was not present.
I'm having a hard time understanding you. You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I wasn't present physically, no.
Okay.
But okay,
so let's stick to what you were physically present for.
Okay.
So you were present for when she moved into the unit, and when it sounds like you were present when she moved out.
I helped her move. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you like to tell me about that?
So, I mean, like she said, it was dirty before. I also was there the whole time. That place is a slum. Like hasn't been updated in like years. Nothing about it was cleanly. So I think, going behind the toilet and trying to find these little like crevices of filth is a bit of a joke to me. I've also read it my whole life. I think that just shows they're trying to look for extra stuff to try to make a point, and it's petty. And then also, as far as the harassment or place of living, I was there when the people that she ended up having drama with were moving in, and it was 12 o'clock, and they were hanging around and making a bunch of noise. So she went out and told them, like, what are you guys doing? Can you please quiet down? Have some respect for your neighbors. And then after that, that's when all the drama happened, because they didn't like how she asked them to quiet down. But it was like late at night, people are trying to get some rest, and they're banging around, not caring about the neighbors. And then that's what ended up leading toward.
That's what ended up leading towards what? You cut out
the hostility at the.
Sir, for some reason, your sound is not. Are you covering something with a microphone with your hands?
No, I don't believe so. No. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. It might be on the. I'm sorry. Like I said, we came up here to be in present, in court. So.
I understand, but exhibits were required to, and then like your testimony is fine, but exhibits were required to be filed
for sure.
By a deadline that was missed. So I am trying to take this all in stride and consideration,
for sure.
Despite that. So, is there anything, so is there anything else that you wish to tell me today?
I mean, you're running the show. I'm just here for if you need information. I'm just saying, if you're giving me like time to just express my feelings, I've been around enough to see retaliation. When I see retaliation, and because you don't like somebody doesn't give you the reason to break the law and to look for extra things to try to whatever, teach someone a lesson. And that's what it's felt like from all of the things that I've seen is they just don't like her and they want to make her life.
Okay. That's, I understand. So I want to topic. So if you're testifying,
Okay.
So
I don't know. I thought we were staying on topic with following that they broke the law. So I'm sorry. That's what I'm confused. What's going on here?
Okay, great. So is there anything else you wish to testify to about any moving expenses, the security deposit, anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sanchez, were you able to contact the other potential witness?
I can do that. No, I can do that right now. I didn't realize that I was supposed to do that while he was testifying. I just have to call her. And if she answers, she answers. If she doesn't, let me contact her.
I'll give you one shot.
Okay. Let me see. Can you please call her? It's 360-989-0888. Hey, Mariah. Hello. Hey, I'm in court right now, on trial virtual, and I was just calling for you to testify if you can.
Is she able to log into Zoom and testify on camera?
She's currently at work, but she can talk on the phone is what she's saying.
I can barely hear the transition between from where you are to here, so I really need her to actually call in.
Is there any way you can call in on Zoom? Can you call in by phone? I believe there's a number you can just call. Okay. What is the number? What is to call in?
She would have to call Cowlitz County District Court, and they can help her get logged in.
Okay, so you would call Cowlitz County District Court. I'm going to give you that number in just a second. Okay. I'm looking it up right now. And just state you're a witness for courtroom number 8 for Irisa Sanchez, and they should be able to help you get on. All right, thank you so much. All right, bye.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the meantime, I have a few other questions while we wait for that witness.
Okay.
So I am pulling up your lease agreement that was provided by defense as an exhibit. I don't believe you picked up any of these exhibits, so that this was what was filed with the court. So I'm going to be referencing documents that you may or may not have because it was a fairly lengthy packet of exhibits. So it does appear that on page 3 of your lease agreement, page 4 of the lease agreement, section 7, a unit condition, by accepting possession of the unit, you acknowledge that the unit is in a safe, clean, habitable, and sanitary condition and agrees to maintain the unit. Tenant agrees that all appliances and equipment are in good working order. Any maintenance request must be in writing and on a separate maintenance request form. So, but you did sign that and understand that that was part of the lease agreement? That by entering the agreement that you acknowledge that it's in a safe, clean, habitable, and sanitary condition.
I mean, yes, I signed the documents,
okay.
But yeah, okay. I didn't know that. I mean, because when you go to view a place, I mean, I don't know, but I'm not personally usually looking at outlets and, if the shower works properly or.
But you have referenced the checklist quite frequently and have noted those things. So, you were getting very specific. You weren't going around and looking, but you did note many things.
Yeah, after because I was given that at time of move-in, and I believe it was like to give it back to them, the condition of the unit.
Okay. And then in that immediate maintenance needs, you did indicate door weather strip, outlets need replaced, and next time please actually clean the unit.
Can you provide me, I'm sorry, that phone number again? She said she thinks she typed in the number wrong for district court.
360-577-3073.
3073. Okay. She said, never mind, I'm waiting on them to answer. So, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was given that the move-in checklist at time of move-in, and I was told I had a week to return that, and so.
But you did and notice things, so you did go through and you did go through in a lot of different things.
Yes.
Right? Okay. noting things are in poor, good condition and made a lot of notes on things on this checklist. So you were going through, I'm just looking off of what was in the checklist.
Yes, I did.
And so, okay. All right. Sorry, I have to dig through some documents real quick.
I lost you. I can't hear you, ma'am.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I can't hear
I'm
you.
one of those commercials right now. I'm not sure what's going on. Are you connected to Zoom? Did you turn your car on? Does it have Bluetooth capabilities?
Hello?
I can see you.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. All right. And in the lease agreement, it does indicate that the cost of cleaning, deodorizing, repairing, or replacing the unit and the contents of the unit to the same condition they were at the beginning, exclusive of wear resulting from ordinary use of the premises. And that's part of your lease agreement. Is that in your understanding as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what about any cost of cleaning for animals? Are you including that in normal wear and tear, or are you? Because that's one of the receipts that was provided for the cleaning was like.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the pictures. There's pictures. They provided me pictures too.
I have all of the exhibits provided by defense because they had been filed.
But there's nothing like normal. Like there was maybe a clump of cat hair. That was it. So.
I have numerous pictures.
Can you show them to me? Because I have the pictures that they sent me as well.
I wish you could have picked these up yourself.
Well, I believe I have them, ma'am. Let me look.
That's okay.
I believe I have them.
Great. We can all be on the same page. Cat hair in the walls and the door jambs and stuff.
Again, this unit was not cleaned when I received it, so there's no way. Where are pictures from?
Was there cat?
Well, the only cat hair I see in the pictures that were provided from me from the defense is there's an exhibit with cat hair on the wood floor. I see that like a little clump. And then like the baseboards and stuff, that is not cat hair. That is just dirtiness from it being dirty, not from my animals or me. Again, this condition was not in clean condition, or this unit was not.
Ma'am, was there cat hair when you moved in?
No, but okay. I don't see cat hair on the baseboards.
I think there's about 15 pages of multiple pictures. Do you have all, or do you think you have all of them? Because defense may have sent them to you, but this is the exhibits that were filed with the court and were available for pickup for you. So
I only received 7.
Yeah, there are quite a few pictures about cat hair and damage that I wish I could show you more in detail, but they were available for you to pick up. Okay. And to go to this maintenance, let's see. I have quite a few exhibits from. Is there? We do have a number. Okay, I'm letting them in.
Okay,
it's fine. Can you hear me? The phone number is 0888.
Yes, I can. Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Can you please state your full name and spell your last name for the record?
Yeah, it's Mariah McGuire, McGuire.
Okay. And is there any way for you to turn on the camera?
It says that the FaceTime part is all blurred out, so it won't let me,
Okay, so that's fine. It's just, I have to have you raise your right hand and swear that your testimony is going to be true. So if I could have you raise your right hand and then tell me when you have it raised.
It is raised.
Okay. Do you promise to tell the truth today and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. So we have Miss Sanchez for her small claims trial, and she indicated that you had provided a statement via email that was insufficient for me to consider due to it not being sworn under penalty of perjury, and you weren't present. But since we do have you present, what would you like to say?
That the unit was very visibly dirty when we entered. When we entered the door, you could see the dirt on the ground. The countertops were, you rub your finger on it and it was dusty, dirty. There were footprints in the shower. All of the electrical outlets fell out anytime you tried to plug something in. It wasn't a move-in unit. And then when we tried to contact the manager, her way of trying to reconcile that was bringing a thing of Clorox wipes while we were currently moving in. And that's all that she tried to do. There wasn't any form of apology, no, hey, okay, can we wait a couple days to come in and we'll clean it for you. It was a box of Clorox wipes. So that was her way to remedy the situation.
Okay. Is there any additional testimony you wish to provide beyond the state of the unit when was moving in?
Other than that, just the lack of courtesy and lack of empathy and lack of trying to work with Irisa to come up with a proper solution. Other than that, I believe that's it.
All right. Anything else, Ms. McGuire?
Oh, nope. That's all I had for you.
Thank you very much for your testimony today. You are free to go unless, I guess, Ms. Sanchez has any. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you, Ms. McGuire. You're free to go.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. And so to go towards, I guess, maintenance, looks like there's quite a few requests made. And I don't know. So I have all of these exhibits about maintenance requests provided by Rodman Realty. And just to show like one of them, you know, showing that it was a call date on July 1st, 2025. The water temps, I'm only getting hot water. Please get this fixed immediately and send someone out who actually knows what they're doing. It's clear the individual who continues to try to fix my plumbing issues does not know entirely what he's doing. And it says completed as of July 11th, so 10 days after.
Yes, I don't dispute that they there were regarding the toilet and they did handle those maintenance requests, and I will say that. But the other ones that I requested regarding front door window coverings, the outlets, those were not fulfilled within the law. Is you know, for any like water, sewer, like that kind of stuff, it's I believe 72 hours they have to do that. But in all other maintenance, it's 10 days. They did not fulfill the other ones, but yes, they did fulfill the shower, and the plumbing issue.
Okay, so I do see, like maintenance notices about plumbing being taken care of. So that's what you were talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. And I do not dispute that because they did do those.
Okay. And so, I'm showing the receipt, the invoice for the, I guess, the fixed outlet. That was a no-show. That was for the $139.45, but that does look like it was refunded to you, from what I saw in the receipt. So I'm just going through all of the documents in here.
I mean, I was never refunded it because they never, like, they tried to charge me.
It was in that itemized list. That's what I'm saying. Remember the, like, back and forth, like it's in the itemized list.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
But it also shows, if you look, that's why this itemized receipt is very confusing. It shows, so the charges negative $139.45, payment 0, and balance it shows $65.
I'm sorry, I'm looking through different documentation right now because I have police reports from, I believe, the trespass incident. Okay, sorry, I'm just digging through. There's a few maintenance requests that I want to make sure. Okay, Randy with plumbing, that got changed, so that is the no-show, I believe. Oh, the sink. Still an issue with toilet. Looks like that was taken care of.
Yep, I don't dispute that they took care of plumbing in the shower when the shower was like it wouldn't turn off at one point.
I saw receipts in here about on the door? There's quite a few things to go through.
The only receipts I received was for like a Home Depot.
Weather stripping at the front door needs assessed and fixed as needed also, while tenant saying front door needs fixed. Is that what you're referring to as a call date on April 14th, 2025? The maintenance request for the door that you said never got fixed?
There was two. So there's two maintenance requests. There was the weather stripping, and then there's also, I put in another request that said the front door needs to be replaced because it had visible damage. And you could tell that it was a safety concern for me that, it's been broken down before.
So I have a receipt provided by defense. It says installed new weather stripping on the front door jamb. Took pictures of any signs of damage to door, none was seen. And so they did address that. It looks like on April 24th, which would have been 10 days after your maintenance request.
The weather stripping is for underneath the door for
I understand what weather stripping is, yes.
They did not fix the front door, no.
It says that there was no damage seen. So they did actually have somebody come look at it. And they took pictures and said that no damage was seen.
So there is damage to the front door. I also have pictures as well.
That I don't have in front of me.
I can share them with you. I also have my witnesses can attest that the damage to the front door was there.
Okay. What I'm saying is what I have in front of me, the exhibits I have provided by Rodman Realty, is that they responded to your maintenance request in a timely manner and got that door fixed per what their maintenance person had stated. Is that inaccurate?
Yes, it is inaccurate.
How so?
I don't want to like continue just like arguing it. Just feels like that's what it's turning into. I get that
this is a trial that's the point of I'm trying to come to, I have a chance, Rodman Realty still has a chance to speak too. I'm trying to get through everything because I don't have any of the exhibits that you're referencing. So I'm really trying to do this while you don't have to take another day off.
Right. And I'm telling you that I have pictures that I can share with you, like I have been, of the damage to the front doors.
Did remember, I think when you scrolled through, there was one of them that you had mentioned that was the door from that one date. So.
And I also have witnesses who were there at my unit, guests. Dylan is a witness who can attest that that door was damaged.
I'm just looking at all of the exhibits provided by Rodman. It looks like they've submitted what appear to be numerous maintenance requests, emails, and stuff like that. But they also provided copies of how they were timely fashion, because you had stated that they refused to fulfill maintenance requests.
They did. I'm looking at the Home Depot receipt that they have that for the electrical outlets, they fulfilled this after I moved out. This shows a date of 8/26/25. I moved out the end of July.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to tell me before I turn over to Rodman Realty?
No.
All right. Can I please have you mute yourself, and then I will have Rodman Realty unmute?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. If you guys could unmute on your phone, I believe. I can't hear you. There we go. Can you guys try talking?
Okay. Now can you hear us?
I can. There's going to be a little bit of a lag just because we're on a video and then the phone is also hitting your audio. So there's a little bit of a lag. And can you just make sure to speak into the phone since we're doing it this way? And who are both of you going to be testifying today, or is one of you going to be speaking? If so, I would need whoever to raise their right hand.
Probably both of us.
Okay, who would like to start first?
I can.
Okay, and please state your name and spell your first name or spell your full last name for the record. Oh my goodness, it's been a long day.
Amy.
What was that name?
Amy Graham.
Amy Graham. All right. And are you a representative of Rodman Realty? Okay, and who is next to you? And can you state your full name and spell your last name for the record?
Aaron Torres. Torres.
Aaron Torres. Thank you very much. Can Ms. Graham, can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear what you're about to testify to is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, and Ms.
I do.
Torres, will you do the same thing? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth today during your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you both. I figured it would be easier to do it this way in case we need, because I know there's a lot of documentation and everything like that. So let's, I guess, do you want to give me your run first and then we can kind of get to questions and all of that?
So when I'm in the maintenance department, and prior to Aricia moving in, I had went over to the unit to make sure it was quote unquote rent ready. It was ready for her to move into, for her to move in. When I went into the unit, I go in there and I put my hands on the countertop and make sure that everything's not, there's no dust or anything anywhere that needs addressed, or I would have had my cleaners, come back over there to make sure that those things were taken care of. So when I left the unit, I felt that it was ready. There was no dust that I saw anywhere that still needed to be addressed. And then Aricia had come to get keys, and prior to getting keys and then going back over to the unit, called us saying that it was not clean, that it hadn't been cleaned, and she was not happy that it wasn't cleaned, that it was dirty. So I had went over there. Yes, I did have a thing of Clorox wipes with me because I wanted to wipe the counter and take a picture of the dirt that she was referring to so that when she did move out, she wouldn't be responsible for that. When I got there, from what I could see, they hadn't started moving anything, and yet they might have had one piece of furniture at the door, and I kindly asked her, I was like, hey, can you show me the areas that you're referring to? And she said, no, now is not a good time because I'm moving everything in. And I said, okay, just make sure and put it on your move-in checklist. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to put everything on my move-in checklist. And I left.
Okay, so that's moving. So can you talk about, if you are with maintenance, can you talk about the maintenance requests? I guess so what it really comes down to, I think from what Ms. Sanchez was trying to she's not agreeing to the door fix, as well as I forget what the other was. My apologies, there's been a lot of information. The outlets that were never fixed. Can you talk about, I guess, those two and how you address those maintenance requests?
So I know that prior to tenants moving in, we have electrical goes out to check outlets and all of those things. So when she had said that the outlets, that she had thought that they needed to be replaced, I had let her know that electrician had already been in the unit and did a full scope of the electrical outlets and everything. And that from the electrician's standpoint, everything was up to code. There wasn't anything that was not at code. And then I did do an work order for her for the outlets for them to go back in and assist them her because she had put that on her move-in checklist. She also noted that she wanted to be present, and that I'd put on in the work order that, call first because it wanted to be there when she comes out. And then I know that maintenance does reach out to the tenants, the vendors do, to set up times and everything because they have their own schedules. We have a lot of tenants, so sometimes it's nice, and I'm not going to say I rely on tenants to let me know if maintenance hasn't been out there, but to keep track of every single tenant on when they put in a maintenance request and when a vendor has been there or not been there, sometimes can be challenging, but I do try to keep track of, especially things like electrical, if something needs to be done, getting them there as soon as they can. Again, on a rent-ready, electrical goes into the unit prior to somebody moving in to make sure that they are up to code.
Okay, and so this Lowe's, I think it was a Lowe's receipt that was provided by you, was that replacement of the outlets? I think it's kind of hard to see. I can't.
Trying to see if I can find that one.
I think it was closer towards the back of the packet.
Is it a disposition?
Huh?
Is it in the tenant statement packet that you got?
No, I think it was like in the maintenance request I had packet, and there was a decent amount of maintenance logs with receipts for work conducted after the maintenance. I'm just trying to see what. Can't even see what date this is.
How much was that? How much was the Lowe's receipt?
4320 or 4663.
And I believe that was the weather stripping.
5625. Was that the weather stripping?
the weather stripping because it was with the weather.
Okay,
For the,
thank you. One of my just clarify. And so it looks like on your maintenance, it does have a section that says permission to enter, and I think on all of them it says no because of her request, Miss Sandra's request. Okay.
yes,
And you guys work with contractors who then would schedule with somebody who marks that basically in the lease agreement that she wants present for maintenance.
yes.
Okay. And so it's your understanding that electrical was checked prior to move-in. The electrician said it's good to go. She indicated the outlets were broken or in disrepair in some fashion. Was there any follow-up after that? Or were you relying on the electrician statement?
The work order, and then the electrician reached out to her. I was under the impression, and the electrician, they were going to set up a time for them to come back out to do it because she wants to be present when they're there.
And this was the no-show, correct? Was it to fix the outlets, or was that to fix? Sorry, I just want to make sure I get everything straight.
1 second.
No, you're fine.
It was a plumbing.
Okay,
one.
that's right. Thank you. And understanding that, like, you did the work order, you contacted the contractor to set up the appointment for that.
Yeah.
Has Miss Sanchez reached out to you guys before if she doesn't think a maintenance request has been fulfilled enough? I guess, like, has she followed up with that before, or followed up with, I guess, any additional?
I was not aware that the electrician had not been out there after the last time that when her and Jen had the communication and text messages.
Okay. So,
Your Honor.
Yes.
I do have follow-up. I have that email sent to Rodman, that they also have where I followed up after them.
I will make a note of that with you. So I want to give Rodman Realty a chance to provide me all their information. Like I provided you a lengthy opportunity, provide all of your information. So I will make a note to follow up on the emails regarding electrical or plumbing.
Yep. The electrical.
Okay. All right. So back to Miss Graham and Miss Torres. I guess from the maintenance side of things, was there anything that did not go addressed? Like, were there any unfulfilled maintenance requests?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Were there any unfulfilled maintenance requests, or were there like no follow-ups on anything, or an outright refusal to follow up on a maintenance request?
We've never outright refused to follow up on anything. We would always want to be able to get into make an appointment to get in to make things right for a tenant as soon as we're able to.
Okay.
I believe we have, you should have all of our maintenance thing, and there is, I don't know how your stuff is like.
If you, I can try. I have a lot of maintenance requests, so if you try to direct me to which one.
I just wanted to make note that when the contractor went into the unit after she had moved out, they made note that there were breakers that had been turned off during tenancy that would affect the ability for some of the outlets and power sources to be able to be utilized, which they turned back on when they saw that they were flipped to the off position.
All right. And so I guess from your perspective, what happened, because Miss Sanchez is claiming that that she requested reasonable maintenance that were never fixed, that this was all in retaliation, causing her to move abruptly, which is why she's seeking moving expenses and her full security deposit. Can you explain to me, I think I want to parse this out in two sections. So I want to talk about the state of the unit when she vacated the premises, and the basis for, I guess, the cleaning fees and all of that. If you can talk, I think this would be the main document, the tenant statement that you provided. So just to discuss, you guys charged her for move out cleaning of $52.50, and was that beyond normal wear and tear?
Yes. No.
Okay. Can you
please
please describe that to me?
Well, in the pictures alone, I mean, there was a lot of cat hair that was all over the floor that still needed to be cleaned up. I mean, besides the cat hair in the pictures, you can see that there was toothpaste on the toilet. There was stuff left in the medicine cabinet. I mean, the unit was definitely not cleaned as it was. There was a toothpick on the shelf in the bathroom that's in the pictures. I mean, it's definitely not. There's dripping and stuff that was on the walls. It was down on the trim, and there's like quite a few pictures of the. And that's what we're only charging her for. I mean, we used her deposit for those things. I mean, she left.
Technically, the deposit was forfeited per our contract due to the minimum tenancy not being fulfilled of 11 months. So we did not take that deposit as a forfeit. We overlooked that and credited her deposit anyhow, although we normally would not do that. That deposit is forfeited, and they would owe us for anything additional that was being billed for cleaning or repairs.
And so you would have technically forfeited that deposit because of what reason in this particular situation?
Because we have an 11-month occupancy requirement for your deposit. So if you fulfill 11 months, then you want to move, you put in your notice to vacate. Then after the 11 months goes by, you are able to get a refund of your deposit less any cleaning, repairs, whatnot, as the norm. If you do not meet that 11-month occupancy requirement, you forfeit your deposit.
And that's in the lease agreement.
It is in the lease agreement.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys did not forfeit that $900. Looks like, I'm just going through the itemized list. It looks like you deducted the move out cleaning and the replacement damaged blinds. Is that from the 900? Is that the only thing that you took out of the security deposit?
There was a late fee that was owed.
Okay.
And then the blinds and the cleaning.
Okay, so that included the $75 late fee, and then it kind of goes back. So, and then you waive that fee for the no-show for the plumber. Okay. And then, so how did the check that you sent to her for what? Was it?
That was the balance of her deposit after the late fee and the repairs and cleaning.
So you gave her the $723 from her security deposit back.
Correct.
Okay.
Normally, we would have forfeited that. She would have forfeited that deposit entirely, and she would have owed us the almost $200.
And then you also technically waived the fee for the no-show as well. So you're not
Correct.
forfeiting the $900 and you're not collecting that no-show fee.
Correct.
And so the other fees that would have come to the balance were for basically rent that was owed. Is that?
Unless she paid her rent.
$129.
The what? I'm sorry.
So the balance forward, the $129.45. That's what she owes.
The $139.45.
I'm seeing it's this bottom right here.
Oh, that's a balance forward on her account.
Okay.
That was previous to this date.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to clarify. Okay.
Straightforward.
When she moved out, did she owe anything, or did you guys give her just this check as a refund?
She owed the late fee for July. Okay. And at that time she owed for the no-show. But when we did the disposition, the no-show fee was waived. And then that late fee and the repairs and damage was taken from the deposit.
Okay.
So we went ahead and credited back to her account, and then she got the balance of that.
Okay.
Returned to her.
And this lease agreement was a month to month. Was it a set term? So you said it was.
It's a month-to-month agreement with a 11-month occupancy requirement.
Okay,
month-to-month agreement. And if you were to move prior to the 11 months going by, there would not be a balance owed for any remaining months as would be for a lease. So a lease you would owe for the months of that time period, but for the month-to-month, you don't owe for any additional rent, but you do for the deposit.
And I guess, can you just briefly address the claims of retaliation?
We're a little confused about that because it was not until after he had been hostile with our staff here in the office and we had a trespass that she went and filed suit in court and whatnot. So from our position, we're the ones that were being retaliated against, and not the other way around.
Can you please
so
describe
that-
that more?
well,
Because I see that there, so I guess what caused her to be trespassed? I know that the police report was filed in the exhibit, so.
when she came to the property, he was hostile and was recording everybody. We had a contractor who had no idea who she was, what she was doing, why she was here, anything going on, who came into the office, and she immediately attacked him and told him that she was not allowed to come to her place, that nobody's allowed there when she's not there, and he had no idea who she was, what she was there for, or anything. It was just very hostile, and she could not be, we couldn't talk to her because she was not in a state she was able to hear out what we were trying to say. So just due to her, the way she was conducting herself, her behavior towards people who had nothing to do with anything that she was here to see us about, and just the negative interactions through to that point, we didn't want her to be here at the property or at our office and causing disturbances for other people that were not necessary for others to be, involved in or brought into for no reason.
Okay, did that prevent her from filing maintenance requests as a tenant still living
No,
there? Did that prevent her
not one
from
bit.
paying rent?
Nope. Everything that a tenant needs to be done or needs to do can be done online, or we have a Dropbox. They can drop anything off they need to in our Dropbox. They can mail things to us. They can email things to us. There's numerous ways that, or submit maintenance requests or make payments to our office without having to actually physically come to our office.
And that, I'm looking for the harassment. And that, was that May of 2025? Or is that a different?
What were we asking?
The trespass, when the police were called about it. I just want to see what date that was. Just trying to, it's a lot to dig through in here.
Sorry, just one second. I
Oh,
have
please
it right
don't
here.
apologize. Okay, I do believe that it's from the police
But she
report
did
from
say-
July 8th.
Okay.
Is that, sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't think it's in the written report, the video report that we received from LPD, that she did state to the officers during their interactions with her that she was going to see us in court because of us having her trespass. So.
Okay, thank you for the information.
Okay, and so just for the Rodman Realty folks, was there any, did you guys refuse to fulfill any maintenance requests after this incident?
No.
Did she make maintenance requests after that trespass?
Yes.
And from your understanding, you're stating that you fulfilled them based on your, I guess, procedure that you normally follow with contractors and.
Fill them as much as she would allow, because again, she wanted to be home, so contractors would have to reach out
Sure.
at those times with her able to.
Yeah, that's totally valid, but that requires additional scheduling issues, sure. Okay. But you guys are able to at least respond to in some kind, or at least get somebody out to, okay. And I guess how did the tenancy end? Because I'm showing some like notices to vacate or something like that. So, or maybe smoking prohibited. Sorry. Was there any smoking damage to the unit? I see a smoking prohibited notice.
Oh, that was due to complaints regarding smoking. So that's just a copy of notice that was sent to all tenants at the property with the same information regarding smoking and our expectations of all that.
Okay, yeah, so I did see the 14-day notice to vacate the premises, which is what I was referring to in the May of 2025. It looks like rent hadn't been paid yet. But that looks like it was taken care of at that time.
Yeah, she took care of that balance shortly thereafter.
Okay.
I know that she mentioned about screens not being taken care of. And I just wanted to make note that screens are not required by landlords to be installed on windows in rental units. So that's not something required. And if the owner does not want to pay for those, a tenant can always pay for their own to be installed and take them with them when they leave or whatnot. But that's not something that we're required to provide. So unless the owner chooses to do that, it's on the tenant for that type of a thing.
Okay.
And I just want to be sure, I know you mentioned it, that she did try to go and assess the situation with the move-in as far as the cleanliness of the unit, and was basically told that she wasn't welcome to come in and do any of that at that time. And
so
we
for Miss when she went in with the Clorox wipes, is that what you're referring to?
So wanted to see to read what was going on. And it was not only to make sure it was noted for the move-in, but also so we could let our cleaners know when they're not doing a good job, because we want to be sure that they're doing what's expected. But so she wasn't, allowed to access the unit to assess at that time. So there's no way we could have really done anything further since we weren't given permission to enter.
Okay. And I do see the exhibit that you provided, I believe is text messages exchanged about the units not being clean from March 28th, 2025. And then there's a note that's handwritten saying maintenance supervisor went to the property and was yelled at and refused entry to assess the condition of the unit. Is that what you were referring to when you went back with the Clorox wipes?
Yes, right.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Not that I can really think of other than what we've already mentioned.
Okay.
And reiterate that we didn't have any retaliatory actions against her, and we continued doing what we could to fulfill her requests and meet, anything that she was needing from us the best we could.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Sanchez, if you could, I guess, unmute and turn your camera back on, please.
Hello.
Hello. All right. So, just to follow up, I know you mentioned that you wanted to follow up on the emails. So now's your chance, I guess, on the electrical.
Yes, the electrical and the screens. I want to know, where does it state a law that a landlord doesn't have to provide them if a maintenance request is put in? And also, there's no proof of them doing any electrical outlet. There's proof that they bought outlet covers after I moved out 8/26, the home that I also received. And per my text messages with Three Rivers, they never try to at all come back or make contact.
Did you follow up with another maintenance request if it wasn't followed up with?
I have an email which was also sent to Rodman of me stating, you guys are in violation of making repairs to my unit. I stated that my plumbing was still having an issue. Secondly, the outlets, the request was put in April 10th. You had 24 hours for electrical repairs and failed to fix that. The door also, because it was the door jamb was damaged. There was visible damage that I share my screen and show you that was never repaired. It's not just the weather strip, and so
okay.
And that's also,
and I know you brought up the electrical email that you said they didn't respond in 24 hours to fix it, but it does appear that they tried getting someone to come the next morning, and you said that you weren't available.
That's not true. If we look at the when the initial outlet was put in, the request for that, I have to documentation again, just a second. I'm looking through the maintenance request again to make sure that I have the right dates. I want to give inaccurate information. Response from the electrical till May 7th via the text messages I shared. That's not the next day.
It's within 10 days, right?
It's 24 hours regarding electrical.
But you indicated that you wish to be present.
Yes, they still didn't make contact with me regarding electrical until May 7th. If this was put in May 2nd, that's passing the legal time frame of
But it's
24
not
hours.
an electrical issue, it's more of the outlets, correct? Like the covers?
It's an electrical issue. It's a hazard as well. It's a hazard to me because nothing would stay in the outlets. And they never, where is this law regarding the screens? To my knowledge, even the unit that I live in right now currently, our screen popped out and we put in a maintenance request and they fixed it. Like it is
Sounds like
required.
it's the choice of the owner.
Where in the lease agreement does it state that they're not required to?
If it was a unit upon move-in, it would definitely be something that would be maintained and taken care of during tenancy, but they're not required to be provided. And so if they're not already there, they're not something that
Does it state that in your lease agreement?
I just, please, I want to remind the parties to speak to me and not each other.
Okay, Your Honor, where does it state that in the lease agreement or Washington law?
Where's your argument for your authority stating it does need to be required? This is your claim.
Well, I currently rents,
if it's a fixture already in place on a unit, it sounds like from what the Rodman Realty is stating, if it's a fixture like a screen already placed on a unit and it needs repairing, then they'll repair it. However, if it was not necessarily something, it sounds like if it wasn't an agreement between Rodman Realty and so I'm just trying to understand right here.
Well, it's still regarding the electrical too, the outlets. There's proof they didn't try to ship, they bought the stuff to repair after I moved out. They did
attempt to fix it because they called a contractor and you got charged and refunded. So I'm trying to understand because they have responded to requests for maintenance. I'm not showing any that haven't gone unresponded to.
I'll appeal it. It's no problem.
All right. Is there anything further from either party?
No.
All right. One moment, please, while I make my ruling. So I am looking at the small claims notice of claim filed by Miss Sanchez. Originally, the amount was for $3,275, and that was for moving expenses for $3,200, certificate service fee $40, and filing fee $35. And additionally filed the amended complaint, adding the $900 security deposit. Going through each itemized, at this point, I'm going to rule in favor of Rodman Realty.